planting 1 billion trees on 1 million hectares of land over the next 8 years. This plan, according to him, has already gotten the commitment of NNPC, which is the largest oil and gas company in Africa. He said Niger State hopes to partner with other global oil and gas, shipping airlines, cement companies, and the United Nations and its agencies in achieving the 1 billion trees targets. Now in Bayelsa State, Governor Doye Diri's campaign in Yenagoa was at Ekpetiama Kingdom to pay homage to the king before the campaign. Governor Doye Diri was received by His Royal Majesty King Bubaraye Dakolo JP, the Ibenanowe of Ekpetiama Kingdom. Governor Doye Diri and his entourage were welcomed by the palace spokesman, while Bayelsa State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Honorable Ayiba Duba, responded on behalf of the governor. His Royal Majesty King Bubaraye Dakolo JP, the Ibenanowe of Ekpetiama Kingdom, highlighted the needs of the community to Governor Doye Diri.
There are requests for roads in this kingdom, particularly a road to Bumadi and Modigbeni. Again, that was being attended to by Shell, but unfortunately a lot of things have happened, and so the road is still largely used in a few weeks during the dry season only because of culverts and other challenges. And if His Excellency will want to look at it, particularly as soon as the governor is sworn in on February 14th, which I believe most of us are sure of, we could commence that particular project.
The governor promised to look into most of the needs when he is re-elected and asked the people of the community to vote for him.
Rehabilitation of the school buildings and to be put to proper use. The Commissioner for Education is directed to go and inspect that place and then see how best we can put that place into use. The roads to Bomadi and Bomadi-Bene from your account have been handled by Shell, and apparently it has not been brought to successful completion. So again, we will liaise with these multinational oil companies who have come to our land and will not add or contribute to our development, rather than taking everything. We will liaise and see what they have done. And if it means bringing them back to, we will. Because the state government also has limited resources. And in areas where they can actually help us, we would want them to help. So we'll look into it and then see how best we can to get communities is actually to link our rural communities with roads, which we think that is very important for overall development of our state.
Governor Doye Diri was blessed by the Majesty King Bubaraye Dakolo JP and given the chieftaincy title of the area with regal beads. His Majesty King Bubaraye Dakolo JP publicly endorsed Governor Doye Diri of Bayelsa State for a second term. Before the governor departed the palace, he directed the Commissioner for Education to see that the schools that need rehabilitation in the area are promptly attended to. We'll take a short break now. Mawakama will bring you business news. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Biscon TV News. Now to business news. Determined to fortify Nigeria's trade competitiveness, the Nigerian Ports Authority has said it is launching a whopping $1.1 billion for the rehabilitation plan of all the ports in Nigeria in the first quarter of 2024. The Managing Director of NPA, Mr. Mohammed Bello Koko, said this on Tuesday in Lagos during a panel session at the 43rd Annual Council Meeting of the Port Management Association of West and Central Africa. He said almost all the ports in Nigeria need rehabilitation, and vessels of all sizes and increase the draft at the key side. Increasing the drafts is intended to achieve draft depths of up to 14 meters, and this initiative will render Nigerian ports more competitive on the global scale, he added. Bello Koko further stated that the NPA was also strengthening collaborations with the private sector to establish new seaports. He said the Lekki Deep Sea Port had already commenced operations, and the Badagry Deep Sea Port recently signed an agreement with a Middle Eastern party, with construction scheduled to commence early next year. The NPA boss noted that these endeavors exemplify the NPA's determination to create a multimodal transportation system connecting all ports seamlessly. We'll take another short break. When we come back, we'll bring you foreign news. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Biscon TV News. Now to foreign news. Israel's campaign to destroy Hamas pushed into its second month on Wednesday as its forces battled the Palestinian militants in Gaza City, despite mounting calls for a ceasefire. Underlining Israel's plan to crush Hamas, Defense Minister Yoav Gallant described Gaza as the largest terrorist base ever built. Israel launched a massive campaign in the Gaza Strip after Hamas militants staged an unprecedented attack on October 7 that killed more than 1,400 people, most of them civilians. According to the Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza, Israel's relentless bombardment has killed more than 10,300 people, many of them children. Calls for a halt in the fighting have gone unheeded, with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu insisting there will be no pause until the more than 240 hostages seized by Hamas are freed. United Nations Rights Chief Volker Turk said the past month was one marked by carnage, of incessant suffering, bloodshed, destruction, outrage, and despair. You're watching Biscon TV News. Up next is Sports News. Stay tuned. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching Biscon Television News. Now to the world of sport. African Boxing Union Super Bantamweight champion Adijat Badamosi is confident of defending her title in her upcoming bout on December 22 in Awka, Anambra State. Badamosi's opponent for the highly anticipated bout is yet to be decided, but the 21-year-old is excited about the fight and does not think there is any opponent in Africa who can wrestle the title from her. Badamosi, who became the first Nigerian female boxer to claim an ABU title on June 17, 2023, said she has been training for the fight since last month and is not going to leave anything to chance. In June, Badamosi knocked out Zimbabwean Patience Mastara in the 5th round of the 10-round bout at the Biscon Boxing Arena in Accra, Ghana, to clinch the formerly vacant belt. Mastara had to be taken out of the ring on a stretcher following the knockout she received from Badamosi during the co-main event at the King of the Ring 3. The two-time Africa Youth Champion, who holds an unbeaten record of 8 victories and 5 knockouts, was excited to get the title. From her words ahead of this title defense, she looks keen to secure another knockout and deliver a statement to make potential opponents in her division wary. And that's it for now on the News Hour on Biscon Television. Compiled and produced by Alakweju Ajidaba. I'm Stella Opawa. Thank you for watching.
everyone, welcome to your newspaper review today. I am Olakujo Ajidaba. Today on newspaper review, I'm going to begin with the Punch newspaper today, Wednesday, November 9, 2023, and for my first headline for the Punch, NNPCL unveils new crude grade, ships 1.9 million barrels. That's on page 24. Over $700 million remains trapped in Nigeria. You can read that on page 29. Foreign airlines. Nigerians lament as Canada suspends Abuja embassy operations, and you can read that on page 7. Off-season elections, crisis rocks peace meeting, NLC strike threatens Imo poll. Traditional rulers flee as parties bicker, Labour plans airport power shutdown. IG deploys new CPs, 3 killed in Kogi as INEC rejects call to remove Imo wreck. To read about the off-season elections, you can read that on page 2. Battle for Bayelsa, Jonathan Dewey Silver canvass votes, and that's on page 7. 5 jailed for sharing Osun ex-speaker's nude video. That's on page 8. Certificate racketeering. Lagos Assembly probes lawsuit. You can read that on page 6. And for the last and final story for the Punch newspaper, Israel Hamas, Senate demands ceasefire. US rejects Gaza occupation. That's the last story here, and that's on page 18. I'm moving on to the next newspaper for today's newspaper review, which is Tuesday newspaper, Wednesday, 8th November 2023, and for the first headline for this day, NPA launches audacious $1.1 billion plan to rehabilitate 100-year-old Pincan Island port. Others, and that's on page 9. It discloses 25-year port master plan, and that's in a bid to actually enhance trade competitiveness and wrest cargo from neighboring countries. And you can read that story on page 9. NNPC Terrell Venture launches new crude oil grade to compete